Johnny's gonna go mental. You're such a knob. It's not in the car. It's got to be back at the house. I think it's up in the bedroom. Right, you check that drawer, I'll check these ones. It's got to be here somewhere. But, what is this? That is not mine, it's got to be Jess's. Can't find it. Have you got it?
Not on here, not under there. There's nowhere.
What are we going to do? Right, I've got an idea, let's wing it. Come on then, fuck it, let's go, let's go.
Welcome to number 2 Stones Lane, the Dixon family home for nigh on 30 years, until our parents destroyed all of our childhood memories by ruthlessly selling it to make a quick buck. There are many happy memories and not so happy memories at this house, especially for Peter Jones, who left here many occasions with a tear in his eyes, but he's the English Frank, so he probably deserved it. So as I say, we would spend many a happy day in this house, and it's a really lovely house to grow up in. We spent hours over there on the little centre field playing football, and coming back to make ourselves some ham and cheese paninis and get some Mars bars from the freezer. I'm still not sure why my mother did that. My brother was always the peacemaker in our house, whilst the older 2 brothers battled for the alpha male status within the household. It's also the famous garage where my brother was caught smoking by my mother, until he was eventually kicked out at the age of 20 due to some very strange noises that were coming from his bedroom. The River Thames flows past our doors with fresh green fields all round. St. Sampson's tower stands tall and strong, from which the clear bells sound. And though we wander far and near, no better place we'll see. So when we're asked where we belong, our answer it shall be St. Sampson's, however long our lives may span. St. Sampson's is where it all began. Welcome to St. Sampson's Infant Junior School, where Johnny spent the early years of his education. It's also where he met some of his closest friends, who I'm pleased to say are still his best mates to date. It's also where Johnny learned his 2 favourite games, Kiss Chase and Knicker Chase. But unfortunately, Johnny, that will stop till he get married. Welcome to the location of one of Johnny's most famous stories. The story goes that some girls were staying at a campsite at the end of this track, about 2 miles away. So some of the boys had a great idea. They get some alcohol and go and pay them a visit. So they told each other's mums that they were staying around one another's house. What could go wrong? Later on that evening, one of the mothers rang the other mothers to find out where their son was and how he was getting on. She'd only been told, he's staying around your house. No, he's staying around yours. There was a problem. So they rang round all the other boys' parents to find out if they knew where the boys were. Eventually, the phone call got in to Mr. Scott, one of the teachers at Braden Forest School. He said he probably thought he knew what had happened. He jumped in his car and paid his daughter a visit at the campsite to find the boys quivering in the bush with a bottle of alcohol, giggling like schoolboys.
and here we are back at school. Some of you may not realise that John was actually almost expelled twice from Breydon Forest. I know it sounds hard to believe with a face like this. However, it is true, and luckily he had his parents to thank on both occasions. First of all, him and his mates were playing on the playing fields near the football goals and decided for some reason to start jumping on the crossbar. They managed to pull it down and snap it. They all ran away, but of course they got found out and got called to the headmaster's office. They all pleaded their innocence, and in the end the parents had to come in and pay for the damage. It got very close for John leaving school, but he got kept on. The second incident was almost when they were about to leave school. It was the last couple of weeks, and as per normal, they egged and flowered the year below, as was tradition. However, this was the first year it was brought in that this was not allowed to happen, and was specifically told to all students. John and his friends, of course, ignored this and carried on and did it anyway. But, keeping to their rules, the headmaster pulled them in and told them they would all be expelled. To many a cry from all the students, they all said, no, this can't happen. Again, the parents got called in, and one in particular, Peter Jones, who've come up again, apparently started almost crying. I'll leave it at that, Jonesy. I'm walking out, aren't I? As most of you will recognise, I'm outside Cairo's nightclub in West Swindon, the scene of many good night out for John in his youth. The story I'm going to tell you is actually one of John's personal favourites, and most of you would have heard his version of it in the past. It all goes back to a nappy night here when John was 15 years old. He was out with his friends, and a few girls a few years below him at school were chatting to them. One of these girls turned out to be Billie Piper. Now John goes on to tell this story that he pulled Billie and she was all over him like a bad rash and was desperate to be his girlfriend. But John turned her down because he didn't want a girlfriend at that time. Now obviously we had to corroborate the story, so we contacted Billie directly to see if we can get a quote on this. And here's the video clip.
Cow. I'm gonna make you squeal.
Oh, make me squeal.
Ah, I actually think that's the wrong clip. However, she did tell me that she never pulled John at all, and in fact that night she preferred his better looking mate, Peter Jones. Now I was surprised to hear this as well, but apparently that's what she said. You can take that one, Jonesy. As you can see, we're outside the old college in Swindon Town Centre. It was John's 18th birthday and he wanted to do something really special. A few months before, a couple of his college mates organised a trip to Cardiff on a coach, and John wanted to do something similar. It's at this stage I should maybe tell you that John is very anal about detail. So, I left it all down to him to organise, so booking the coach, find the best club around and booking the VIP access. Everything seemed to be going great. A few days before we were going to go, I asked John how many people were actually coming. The look on his face was a picture when he realised he'd only invited his closest friends and most of them were at university. So after a few frantic phone calls, we thought maybe we should be able to get half a coach together. We turned up at this very spot and wondered how many people would turn up. When we got on the coach, there were 8 people. We still went to Ringwood, we still had a great time, and on the way back we had plenty of room on the coach to sleep. I guess it's about time we talk about the happy couple. Now, as we all know, John and Trace are very well suited because they're both very careful with money, or as I like to say, tight. So we've got a few examples of this to say the least, but I've managed to narrow it down. First of all, when they first moved to this beautiful house out here in North Swindon, they both used to live in town before, so it was very easy for them to go out for drinks with their friends. They still want to do this when they came here. However, if either of them needed a lift into town, they would charge the other £1.50 petrol money for a lift into town. At this stage, they did have a mortgage together, which I'm sure was a few £100s at least, but they still wanted their £1.50. And I think they only had joint accounts up until a few weeks ago, so from my point of view, you can see the reasons why. Also, you're quite lucky that all the Dixons are actually at the wedding today, because they were too tight to actually buy us invites. The reasons were, you know when the wedding is. Well, you know, if maybe me and Matt were a bit more like John, then we wouldn't be in the debt we are. Right, I think that about covers all the stories we can tell about Gene, which are actually suitable for the wedding. The one we did want to include was Fat Gene. When he was around 18 to 19 years old, he forgot football and found women and beer, but he's managed to destroy the photos. So unfortunately, we're going to have to leave that one. Actually, I remember where the speech is now. It's at the top of the stairs.
Let's get it. How useless you are. Come on, hurry up.
Got it.
go.
We'll see you lot in 5.
Drinking in the morning sun, blinking in the morning sun, shaking off the heavy one. Yeah, heavy like a loaded gun. What made me behave that way? Using words I never say. I can only think it must be love. Oh, anyway, it's looking like a beautiful day. Someone tell me how I feel. Like a final meal. Yeah, kiss me like we died tonight. 'Cause holy cow, I love your eyes, and only now I see the light. Yeah, lying with you half away. Like a beautiful day. When my face is chamois creased, if you think I wink, I did. Laugh politely at repeat. Yeah, kiss me when my lips are thin. 'Cause holy cow, I love your eyes, and only now I see the light. Yeah, lying with you half away, stumbling over what to say.